children today. For the children, they're going to have to pay for this money we're borrowing, and who are going to pay for an economy that's going to be hit with high inflation because we're printing money like drunken sailors and spending it. It's horrible. I want to introduce a couple of legislators. First of all, I want to invite Shawn Mitchell, State Senator Shawn Mitchell, to come on stage.
Thank you, Jim. Good morning, Coloradans. Today is unfortunately historic. It marks one of the biggest, most expensive mistakes in the history of American domestic policy. Obama, Reid, Pelosi couldn't decide if they wanted a bill that was an economic boost, a big spending welfare wish list, or a politician free-for-all pork fest. So they did all three. I don't get it. If the problem is that people are borrowing too much on credit cards and on home equity, how does it help things for the federal government to shove us aside and show us what a world-class credit binge looks like? We, today, sadly, are betting our grandchildren's future on the falsehood that you can spend your way to prosperity. You cannot. The Obama, Reid, Pelosi lurch to the left is not the change that Americans voted for. We need to remember, we need to get involved and tell the federal government, live within your means. Thank you.
You know, just because there were 3 Republicans sold out doesn't mean that there aren't some great Republicans here and in Washington, D.C. fighting for the right stuff. Senator Nancy Spence.
For being here. We've been told that this so-called stimulus package is the product of a historic presidency, working with a historic Congress at a historic time for our country. Well, time will tell. What's clear already, though, is that the bailout that the president is about to sign is itself historic, because it's by all accounts the biggest single spending bill of all time. In approving of this deal, the president and the ruling party have taken on an awesome responsibility. They are risking America's very solvency at a deeply troubling time for our nation's economy, all in the hopes that it will restore growth and give our country a lift. We're here today not to question the need for action by our nation's elected officials. There's no doubt that we need action. We need the right plan. We need real leadership to chart our way through these rough waters. Our concern in gathering on these steps is the direction of this mammoth spending spree. America needs to get back on track. This legislation risks running us off the rails. The public is expecting big results soon, and voters will be very unforgiving if they feel betrayed in the end.
You know, back in college, we would go to the opposing team and steal their mascot. That's exactly what we did today.
Yeah!
This is a great show of resistance to what's going on. I want to talk to you briefly about the illegal immigration portion of this stimulus package. Most of you know that the federal government has developed a web-based system called Employment Verification Eligibility Program, or E-Verify, that allows employers to verify the legal status of newly hired employees. That program is actually being utilized voluntarily in Colorado by thousands of patriotic employers. The problem is tens of thousands of employers are not using it. It should be of no surprise to us that the Democrat-controlled U.S. Congress refused to leave a requirement in the so-called stimulus package that contractors and subcontractors must utilize the program's E-Verify program to ensure that only people in this country legally benefit from the stimulus dollars. According to the Heritage Foundation, without the E-Verify requirement, some 300,000 illegal immigrants will take significant portions of those stimulus dollars that taxpayers expect to go to legal residents. And frankly, I believe that 300,000 is even low. Yesterday, I issued a press release calling on Governor Ritter to issue an executive order requiring all government agencies to validate that any company in Colorado receiving stimulus dollars actively utilize the E-Verify system to assure that tens of thousands of Coloradans, unemployed legal workers, will have a job. I don't think that's too much to ask, do you? The stimulus money that Colorado receives is meant to stimulate the economy and give jobs to citizens, not to stimulate the economies of Mexico, Guatemala, or South American countries, or to give their citizens jobs. So, how does Governor Ritter's office respond? Evan Dreyer says that the stimulus was a thin pretext for me to promote my views on illegal immigration, and goes on to say that this looks like another dose of partisan fear-mongering from the good senator. I don't believe that, nor do you. Thank you very much.
Friends, it is a privilege to stand here with Colorado citizens, of this nation that realize that there is a better way than what is happening over at City Park today. There should be a better policy, and there are hundreds of people here today standing to say, we will not accept the same old of Congress now on steroids, signing away our children's future with a mortgage that's unprecedented in human history. We need to say no. We need to find a better way, and I'm simply proud to stand with all of you today and say forcefully to the President of the United States, no, we shouldn't go down this. We will not do it again. Thank you.
Now I'm going to introduce State Representative Cindy Acree.
Thank you, Coloradans, for joining together to say that we don't need expanded government intervention in our lives. We can manage our lives, our businesses, and our health care better than the government can.